These are the concept cars that looked like they came straight out of the future. Wild designs, insane features, and engineering ideas so far ahead of their time that they never hit the road. Some were too ambitious, some too ridiculous, and some just too expensive to ever survive outside the showroom floor. Let's count them down, starting with the craziest of all. Number 1. Lamborghini Egoista. The Egoista looked like something Batman would daily drive. Sharp angles everywhere, a single-seat cockpit straight from a fighter jet, and a canopy door that lifted up instead of opening sideways. Even the name told you everything. Egoista means selfish. This car was built for one. No passengers allowed. Inside, it wasn't even styled like a car. The steering wheel had to be detached just to get in and out, like climbing into an F-16. Lamborghini built it for their 50th anniversary as a rolling piece of art, not a production car. With its 600 horsepower V10 engine and stealth bomber bodywork, the Egoista was easily one of the wildest concept cars ever made. Cool for Bruce Wayne, completely useless if you've got groceries. Number 2. Mercedes-Benz F-015, luxury in motion. This wasn't a car, it was a living room on wheels. The Mercedes F-015 was designed as a fully autonomous pod with no driver needed. Inside, 4 seats faced each other like a lounge, with giant LED panels across the doors. Instead of a dashboard, the car had massive touchscreens wrapping around the cabin, turning every ride into a futuristic command center. It looked sleek from the outside too, smooth, silver, and glowing like a spaceship. But here's the kicker. This was 2015, way before self-driving tech was even close to ready. The F-015 was a bold look into a future we still don't quite have. Basically, it was like Mercedes wanted to make an iPad that also happened to move at 60 miles per hour. Number 3. BMW GINA Light Visionary model. GINA stood for Geometry and Functions in N Adaptations. But forget the name. This thing looked like it was alive. Instead of body panels made of metal, BMW covered the car in a special flexible fabric stretched over a wire frame. Press a button, and the headlights literally peeled open like eyelids. Even the shape of the car could shift, with moving panels that adjusted the contours like skin tightening over muscles. Underneath, it had a standard BMW engine, but the body design was pure science fiction. It blurred the line between machine and creature. But here's the problem. Cloth doesn't exactly survive weather, scratches, or birds doing what birds do. That's why it stayed a concept. The GINA proved one thing, though. BMW was willing to go full mad scientist for design. Number 4. Cadillac Cyclone 1959. This was peak jet age styling. The Cadillac Cyclone looked like it was built for astronauts, with rocket-inspired fins, bubble canopies, and radar sensors in the nose that Cadillac called collision avoidance. Yup. In 1959, they were already thinking about self-driving safety. The doors slid backward into the rear fenders, and the car had silver paint so shiny it looked like a spaceship. The Cyclone wasn't just futuristic, it was Cadillac flexing on the entire car industry, saying, "We're already living in 2050. Too wild, too expensive, and way too impractical." But still, one of the coolest concept cars America ever dreamed up. Number 5. GM Firebird series. General Motors went full NASA in the 1950s and built not 1, but 3 Firebird concepts that looked like jet planes with wheels. They had bubble cockpits, tail fins, and jet turbine engines that screamed louder than they actually drove. The Firebird 1 looked like a missile with wheels. Firebird 2 was a 4-seater with titanium skin. Firebird 3 had 7 different wings and fins. None of them were road legal. They guzzled fuel like crazy and would have roasted pedestrians with the jet exhaust, but they weren't built for practicality. GM was showing off, proving that cars could be experimental aircraft for the ground. Number 6. Ferrari Modulo. If aliens built a Ferrari, it would look like this. The Modulo, revealed in 1970, was flat, wide, and barely 3 feet tall. The canopy slid forward to let you in because doors just weren't futuristic enough. Under the hood, or technically under the spaceship body, was a 550 horsepower V12 capable of 220 miles per hour. It wasn't designed for driving, though. It was designed to shock. And it worked. The Modulo looked less like a car and more like a stealth ship from Star Wars. To this day, people call it one of the most bizarre Ferraris ever made. Ferrari fans loved it. Number 7. Toyota FTHS. Back in 2007, Toyota unveiled the FTHS, which they called the Future Toyota Hybrid Sports. It was sleek, aggressive, and powered by a hybrid V6 engine paired with electric motors. It had over 400 horsepower and promised eco-friendly speed before Tesla made it cool. The FTHS was basically the blueprint for the Toyota Supra revival, but it never made it past concept stage. The car was just too wild for Toyota's conservative lineup at the time. Still, car fans drool over it because it showed that hybrids didn't have to be boring. They could be low, mean, and designed to smoke tires while saving gas. Number 8. Renault Desire. This French concept looked like something straight off a sci-fi runway. The Renault Desire had flowing curves, butterfly doors, and a bright red body that looked more like fashion than engineering. It was powered by an electric motor, back when most automakers still laughed at AVS. Inside, it had white leather seats that looked like futuristic furniture, and the whole vibe screamed concept art brought to life. The Desire never saw production, but it inspired Renault's later EV lineup. Basically, it was the sexy cousin of the cars they actually sell. Number 9. Audi Avus Quattro. In 1991, Audi shocked the Tokyo Motor Show with the Avus Quattro. Made entirely of polished aluminum, the car looks like liquid metal poured into the shape of a supercar. Under the hood, Audi claimed it had a W12 engine, but fun fact, it was just a mock-up. The engine didn't actually work. Even so, the Avus was legendary. It was lightweight, futuristic, and looked like it belonged in a science fiction movie. It paved the way for Audi's real high-performance cars later, like the R8. Number 10. Ford Nucleon. Yes, you read that right. Ford wanted to build a nuclear-powered car. The Ford Nucleon, unveiled in 1958, was designed with a small nuclear reactor in the trunk. The idea was simple: never stop for gas again. Drivers would just swap out the reactor core at a special station, like changing a battery. It was the most futuristic idea of the jet age, but also the most dangerous. Even the smallest crash could have turned rush hour into Chernobyl. The Nucleon never got close to production, but as far as crazy concept cars go, this one takes the crown for wildest idea ever. And there it is, the craziest concept cars that never made it. Some were too expensive, some too dangerous, and some just too weird. Which one of these cars would you actually want to see on the streets? Drop your pick in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more wild stories from the car world.